full boogaloo, if you will, double throwdown racing. 70-mile-an-hour behemoths jumping 30 and 40 feet in the air. The truck behind us on the front says, "I love St. Louis." I hope Bob Chandler and his crew will not be singing the blues when they leave Indianapolis.
Side by side, monster truck competition from Indianapolis coming up next. Here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, actually we're north and west of the famed Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the Fairgrounds also noted for some fine motorsports as we take a look at the bare necessities. Nick Rossi in the Outlaw, and this is what a monster truck looks like without the outside skin.
What's happened here, Gary? Rossi was ready to run today. They found a problem. The problem was a result of this run during the qualifying session. I want you to notice what happens. Watch the left front spindle, digs in, flips, completely demolishes the body. Now, the crew worked feverishly to get the vehicle back together. One of the tech crews found a bolt missing in the seat belt. They made Rossi go back. He's going to try to get back in the program this afternoon, but he'll come back at the bottom of the field.
The roll cage protects the driver. The driver from New Jersey climbs out, walks away. He is okay, and he'll be back in competition here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Incidentally, the run where he crashed was the fast qualifying time for the Outlaw. That bracket will go to the bottom, though, of the pairings. And then it's number 5 Taurus against number 11 Bigfoot. We also have Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher, number 3 against the Micro Machine. And King Crunch, Scott Stevens, taking on the Wild Thing. Also in round 1 competition, we have Snakebite, the 6th fastest qualifier, against Tropical Thunder. And Nightmare matches up against John Moore's Bronco. No problem. So once again, here's a look at Andy Brass in Bigfoot 8, the tube-frame truck out of St. Louis, Missouri. And there is Eldon Depew, Granite City, Illinois. They're neighbors, and that is the Taurus truck owned by the Willman family. Eldon is Jack Willman Sr.'s nephew.
Yeah, you got to remember, though, so were the Hatfield and McCoys. They were neighbors, and they didn't get along very good. I think you can say the same thing here. Andy Brass comes out showing no mercy on his rookie driver.
And Brass takes the victory as Taurus noses over at the finish line.
We talk about Taurus having that snoopy nose. I guarantee you Depew got a real good look at that grass on the far end of the track.
Well, once again, the whole shot can be so important in this type of competition. And right there in no man's land, it's all Andy Brass.
Gary, I tell you what, this Depew kid is not afraid to drive that monster truck. He's going to be another attack driver.
Well, Bigfoot wins, but there may be a problem with the truck.
Well, Gary, we're standing on the starting line of the track with Bigfoot driver Andy Brass, but your whole crew's on the other end of the track trying to find something. What'd you lose?
Well, our steering went bad on us. We taken down the other lane there, and we're just kind of watching it. And I think the power steering went away, so we're looking for the shaft, the intermediate shaft that drives the pump right now.
Okay, I look over the cameraman's shoulder. They just found that piece. We'll let you get back to the truck.
All right, thank you, Army.
So the crew and Andy are eager to get back and go to work on Bigfoot for round 2 competition as we take a look at Bob Breen in the Micro Machine, part of the Breen Brothers Racing Machines. He'll go up against the Big A Auto Parts Carolina Crusher with Gary Porter.
Gary Porter runs a unique setup in the transmission. It's basically a stock GMC type transmission. It's been modified, but they run what they call a trans brake. It's been very successful in drag racing. The only difference in this sport and drag racing, these rascals weigh around 12,000 pounds. The drag cars that run them, they come across the scales at about 2,000 pounds. Wow, does it work, Gary? Look at that.
Well, Gary Porter gets the whole shot, applies the horsepower, and takes the victory. Gary Porter has always excelled on the outdoor long tracks. Gary Porter, by his own admission, will have trouble competing indoors, but he likes these high horsepower tracks.
And I don't blame you. It's just kind of his thing. You got short track specialists, long track specialists, and other forms of racing. He just doesn't like running in another man's wall, and I don't blame him a bit.
A wild paint job on Wild Thing. Jim Booker behind the steering wheel from St. James, Missouri, and Scott Stevens in the blue and yellow Auto Value King Crunch Chevrolet.
Well, Gary, you got both ends of the spectrum. To the left, the old veteran, the wily veteran, been around a long time. On the right, closer to the camera now, the new kid on the block. Hey, first half of the race, he's running him tough. Check this out.
Well, I think there's a mechanical problem over there. And King Crunch, as Wild Thing takes the victory, Jim Booker will advance to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but Gary, you played the racing game long enough to know you take this win like you would any other win. Booker, in his freshman year, that has got to be one of the biggest wins he's had, Gary.
Let's talk to Jim Booker, Army.
Okay, what about now? Normally you don't get a chance to run with these guys each and every week. You feel like you can step up and run with these guys on a regular basis?
If I can keep my motor lined out, I think we can do real good with them. But we've had a bad time with our motor this weekend. We really got lined out this morning, so I think we'll do some good today.
Oh, good luck to you. Just put one of the bad boys on the trailer. We'll see you in that next round.
I sure would like that. Thank you.
And here is a look at the big, bad Colt Cobra in snake bite.
Cobra is going to have to go up against this kid out of South Florida. Now, the book on Wayne, ex-drag racer, getting over to monster trucks, he can be a player, but he runs the older style chassis. Okay, we talk about the high-tech chassis. We've got the older chassis. Snake Bite's one, Tropical Thunder's the other. Gary, let's just see who's going to win this.
Well, perhaps you've heard it before in motorsports. A good driver can't always carry a bad racing vehicle. It takes almost a new truck to be competitive here. And on this run, it's the Snake Bite.
That truck gets quicker and quicker and quicker each time out, Gary Lee.
Let's take a look again as Snake Bite gets the hole shot. He has the advantage right here through no man's land by a few feet. And there is the margin of victory for Colt Cobra. And always making a fashion statement, here's Colt.
Okay, Colt Cobra, you've been saying it's easy pickings out here today. You're going to the next round, but it's not going to be any easier at all.
No, it's not, Army. I tell you what, I started out this thing, didn't have no friends. I don't want no friends now. I'm only out here for one thing, that's win. I tried my heart out last night to try to put in a top spot in this qualification. Everybody's been putting me down. I'm here to stay. I'm going to be back next round, and I'm going to advance one more round after that.
We'll just have to wait and see. Let's go on with some more action, Gary.
Army, he sounds a bit vindictive. We'll see what he can do in the next round as we take a look at Steve Hess out of Columbia City, Indiana. He has some home state fans here. He goes up against the Tennessean, John Moore, in the Bronco. No problem.
You talk about the guy being vindictive. I'll just be very honest with you. He's mad at these guys and doesn't like any of them. Back to the starting line. GMC close. Ford on the far side. Both of them short wheelbases. Both of them early chassis designs.
And right there, it's Nightmare.
Showtime.
And the difference was how the Bronco jumped and bucked in no man's land. That was the difference on this run. And that gave the victory by only a few inches to Nightmare.
Exactly. You've got to get the truck down on the ground. See how the far truck is bouncing? Now, Nightmare has got all four paws digging, and that puts him on the other end.
Steve Hess has the helmet off, and he's with Army Armstrong.
Gary, we're standing with Steve Hess, the driver of the Penda liner GMC. And Steve, you went in the left lane. We thought that was a smooth lane. Boy, you took a rough ride on the end of this track.
We did. I didn't catch it just quite right on that first set of cars. Maybe it wasn't quite enough in the power, but you know, we ran the fast time last night, and we came back today, and I think it's just a little bit slow off the line. I didn't catch the light quite right.
Next matchup as we take a look at Kirk Dabney in Giant, and he will face off with the fast qualifier. There is Nick Rossi without the skin on his monster truck, the Outlaw. Once again, Nick was the fast qualifier. At the end of that run, he took the nasty ride, tore the vehicle up. The crew has it back together, and he now is ready to go up against the Giant.
You know, I don't think the body being gone is in his mind at all. He is just as intense now as if he were sitting in a corner somewhere. He's got one job to do, that's to get that truck to the other end quicker than the other truck.
And it looks like he's going to do it. Not pretty.
Yeah, but it's a pay window. They don't ask you if it's pretty. They just want to know if you go into the next round.
There's no title for miscongeniality in monster truck racing.
You know, this is a good shot. The camera crew showing you exactly what the chassis look like on these vehicles. We've been talking about chassis for a long time. The older style truck there, Rossi kind of a mid-style truck, but there's a lot of work there, Gary.
And Nick Rossi takes the victory without the body. He's down there now with Army.
Well, Nick, when this thing first started, you were prepared to go in the first round. There was a technical problem. The officials let you go back, get the truck up to snuff, and you're going into the next round. Kind of a good break that way, but a bad break to get you here. What happened to the truck?
We qualified last night. We were the fastest qualifier. I caught a hole in the end of the cars. The motor died, and I flipped it over, end over.
Okay, you're okay, and you're having fun.
I'm fine. The truck's hurt pretty bad. We're done now. We just broke the oil pan, so we can't even come back.
Oh, you are out for the day?
Yeah, we're out.
I'll tell you what, you made a lot of fans here in Indy. Maybe we'll see you another time, another day.
Thank you.
Hard work after the wreck, and now a tough break as he'll not be able to continue. There's a look at Bigfoot 5, the biggest of them all. We're at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis. Stay with us. We're coming right back.